Testing. Y'all good? Okay, cool. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. How are y'all feeling?
Feeling good.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I'm super good. So I just want to kind of give a synopsis for anyone in the audience who hasn't tuned in or anyone that wants a refresher, right? So with the breakout success of Netflix's hit Forever, rising stars Lovie, Simone, and Michael Cooper Jr. are stepping into the spotlight and making waves far beyond the screen. Right? This panel is going to dive into how Forever became a cultural moment, what it means to be a part of the show that's resonating deeply with audiences, and how landing their first major roles has shaped their personal and professional journeys. Some of the most gifted young black actors in Hollywood as they reflect on navigating the industry, the impact of authentic storytelling, and how they're using their platforms to inspire a new generation. So are y'all ready to get into it? Yes. Okay, so let's do a generational. Any millennials? I'm a millennial. Okay. What, Gen X? Gen Z? Okay, we got some boomers in the house. Yes. Okay, cool. All right. So, yo, we are at the NAACP National Convention, right? We are talking everything from legacy to culture. So I would love to talk about what about Forever do you think so deeply resonated with audience and made it more so a cultural moment?
I think because Forever was so real to the black experience, and not just one black experience, but kind of all of them in like one shot, I think that made people connect to each of the characters different, and the family dynamics that made it like visible, like our lives were visible on a screen. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of what Lovey said. I mean, I think it comes down to brilliant writing. Like Brock Akil's writing is so specific, and I think that all of us can see ourselves in not only one of the characters, but most of the characters. I mean, I see myself in Keisha's shoes, as well as Justin's shoes. So I think this beautiful experience that, opens conversations and opens dialogue and allows us to connect in a way that we haven't been able to connect, before.
Yeah, I love that. That was the first thing I told all my friends when I watched it. I was like, I saw myself in everybody, as I'm in my 30s. So, just I feel like it's a pivotal moment to think about like what kind of mom do I want to be, but then also still being just a grown-up, I guess. So it's like I saw myself in the parents. I saw myself in y'all. So I love that. Yes. Okay, cool. So tell me about landing your first major roles. Like, what has it been like? What was it like? Just walk us through.
My first major role was called Greenleaf. So for me, I was young.
Yay!
Some of you might know, I don't know. But that was my first big role. So that was really a learning experience for me, learning how to be on a set, learning how to be in hair and makeup, learning how much people knew about black hair and black makeup. So a lot of that was a lot of the reasons why I am the way I am today. Like, I love to know about hair. I love to know how to do my own face just in case, because the industry, I was lucky enough to be on a black set, but afterwards, not all sets have like majority African American black people. So it's not always like that, and I feel like I was blessed to have Greenleaf be like my first breakout role. But I do see a change in the industry now with black people in regards to our hair and makeup more specifically.
Yeah. And then for me, like, you want me to be honest? I was
always.
I was petrified. Like, I was scared. I hadn't been in the industry at all. I think it was my third year into acting when I booked the series, and so I just remember going to the table read and looking over to like Kieran and Wood, because they were sitting right next to me. I'm like, I feel like I don't belong. Like, I feel like an imposter. And it wasn't. If I didn't have the faith that I have now, I don't think I could have done it. But it was my faith that kind of got me in the position that I'm in, and then that's been my foundation ever since. But yeah, it was a beautiful experience, and it was beautiful to like work with people like Lovey and Karen and Wood who've been doing it, because you just absorb, you just learn. So yeah.
And I love that, the imposter syndrome, that aspect, because I know a lot of us in here, we deal with that every day. It might be something that you want to start, but you're super scared. And it's like, me personally, every time I'm challenged, but do it anyway, I find myself growing the most. So can you attest to that? Was that kind of the similar?
Oh, for sure. Especially when you're like, the hours that we work, every day, all day. It's practice at the end of the day. So like you're constantly learning, constantly growing. You're learning this character, but you're also exploring, who you are in the thick of it. So like Justin, for me, he taught me a lot about vulnerability, and there's not like, especially being a black man in America, we're taught to suppress. So being able to play them, allowed me to access things, and it was cool. It was a cool gift. It was a cool, learning thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings the next question, right, Lovie? When it comes to authentic storytelling, like how important is it to you to play roles that have authentic storytelling, or just, with your brand and just in general, when your future work, authentic storytelling? What is that to you?
Well, for me, I've always wanted to have discernment in the roles that I took part in. And so for me, I do love when a character that I would be embodying is full of depth and it's honest and it's real, even if people might not agree with her decisions. I think I've, played that person over and over and over again. So for me, it is really just having like a real human experience and just being honest to that. That's what I'm attracted to.
Yeah, nah. I mean, same thing. I'm gonna piggyback again because it's all about truth.
Yeah.
It's how can we get to the bottom of the truth. And I think playing flawed people, because we are flawed people, is truth. And Justin and Keisha's story, although like Mara, wrote it within this teenager world, we can all relate to it. We've been in a position where we've blocked each other a couple times.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like, it's just truth, and to be able to play, flawed people is not only important, but it's an actor's dream.
Yeah.
Yes. Love that. All right, and also with the NAACP convention, we have a lot of youth here today, and I love to see it because that just means y'all are here to make a difference, to learn. We're leaning on y'all. Y'all are the next generation, no pressure, right? So how important is it to, just represent or advocate for youth on screen and off, really?
For me, it means everything only because people grow up and they forget that we're just like them. So there's this separation that's created between like younger people and older people, but then we forget that older people are probably still making mistakes that can resemble our own. So there's so much truth and actual, like that human life in younger people's lives and their honesty and their stories. So I usually love to tell those stories because it is kind of like a mirror, like being held to your face on like all the parts of yourself that you wish to change or that you really love, or etc.
Yeah, again, it's the honesty of it all. Like, we have to be able to have conversations around it to really get at the root of what this thing is. And I think, like, Forever specifically served as a story of that. Like, I heard people having uncomfortable conversations with their families regarding all of the different topics. And so, it just allowed conversation with youth, and I think that's important.
For sure. All right, so also I want to know, what about off-screen? Off-screen when it comes to, I'm sure you guys give back to your communities, your family, and just inspiration and all those things. So what does that look like off-camera or off-screen, pouring back into the communities and the youth?
At first, I thought it would take a lot. I used to like post on Instagram every February. I would never post my face. I would just post something for, Black History Month. Yeah. And at first I thought that I had to do a lot in my teenage years to be an advocate or to just, anything. But now I'm realizing that there is a lot of power in being unapologetically like yourself. I recently had a conversation on another panel about trailblazing. And to me, I said, trailblazing is when you can be your full authentic self and just be able to inspire people to do that for themselves. And that's really just a domino effect. And so that's what I would say, yeah.
Yeah, like through your work, through you just being you,
Yeah,
just
just
your whole
being.
journey and everything, right?
Yeah, so like my morals, my views, you know, I bring that with me everywhere. So whenever I do have interactions with people or when I'm saying things on screen, like I do hope that some of it rubs off.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing with just showing up for the work, but then also like faith is huge for me. So like, even on Forever, I was like, yo, we should start a Bible study with those who felt, you know what I mean, to
Yeah.
just join, just to
Yeah.
keep us anchored in something greater than ourselves.
Yes.
So for me, it's giving back with faith and just having those conversations and connecting in that way.
Yes. I love that. And intersecting the two. The last panel was faith and activism and how you tie that. Yeah, so that reminded me of that. Okay, so also, right, mental health, as we can agree, is important, right? Mental health and work and just intertwining those, but that perfect balance. So when it comes to, the fame that you all have and the crazy schedules and all of that in the work, how are you all maintaining your personal lives right now, if any? Maintaining. I would love to hear your routine.
I feel like Michael's better than me.
Nah, that's all you. No, because Lovie, like, she puts me on. She's like, even I got food poisoning in Europe. She's like, Michael, make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Right.
Like, she's texting me, making sure I'm good. So, like, she's really good at, like, like, what.
I'm good at health stuff.
Yeah, she's good at
He's
health
good
stuff.
at like putting the phone down.
Yeah.
I feel like we just answer for each other.
Yeah,
but
yeah, literally.
Yeah, I feel like I really do like to take care of my physical health as much as possible, as much as I like can. So the basic level of that is me. I have to get 8 hours of sleep, if not 7, if not 6. Then after that, it's like whoa. But I need sleep, and that's like one thing I know that I have to put in place for myself to like be calm and be cool the next day. That and food.
Oh, yeah.
But you,
Oh, yeah. Don't make me hangry.
you know.
Yeah.
And see, me is like really just putting my phone down. Like, I have a flip phone. People make fun of me for it.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I have my actual phone, but I just put it down for real, just to disconnect, because social media is, it's crazy.
But you do have an iPhone.
I do have an iPhone.
Okay.
Yeah. I got
But
an
like to
iPhone.
get away from the screens and
Yeah,
everything.
just to chill out.
That's
yeah.
good. We can
Yeah.
all use a little screen diet, especially these days.
Yes.
So can y'all share anything from the set of Forever that was very meaningful or impactful to you personally that you just like sticks out to you and you carry to this day? Any specific moments that you can think of off the top of your head?
I know we keep saying this, but prom was a fun time.
Prom?
Oh, yeah. Prom was
Okay.
a cool time.
We love the prom.
Yeah, because we just got to dance for real. And
Yeah, that was a really nice experience for me as
yeah,
well.
it was cool.
Outside in LA?
Yeah, I also would say any scene that I did have that was on a more intimate level, I did appreciate because the writing was like really, really, really good, and this was my first big role, so I didn't have too much experience with those intimate one-on-one scenes. A lot of times they would be a bit brief in nature, so like to have the time with Michael to like break stuff down in an argument, or with my mom Zosha, like those were the things that those moments that I'm going to take away from Forever.
Okay. Yeah, so what advice would you give to other young Black artists, everybody in the audience who just has a dream, whether it's acting, whether it's starting a business, whether it's, whatever, still figuring it out, right? What advice would you give for them to try to break into either the entertainment industry or just to even find what their passions are?
I think faith is huge for me. Having the faith within yourself that you can keep moving forward. We were literally walking down the street last night, and we saw a dude with the shirt that said, "Never give up." And like that's those simple reminders of like, because even we just did this show, but like it's still that constant like, what's the next thing? Like, are we gonna be able to? So it's like having the faith, having the endurance, and never giving up, and just continuing to push. Even when, because life gets hard. We all know this, and things are gonna happen. But like, if you ground yourself in something real and push it for it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Amen. Love that.
I agree with Mike. I think I'm going to go with what Michael said.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Okay,
agree.
cool. And with that, right, with pursuing your goals, with trying to finding out what you want to do and just pushing into that faith, we always run into challenges, right? Obstacles along our journey. So can you all share or think of any challenges when it came to growing your brand, growing your career that you faced and how you overcame them?
It's hard to it's hard for me to consider something as like a challenge.
'Cause it was a learning experience, right?
Yeah, everything feels like a learning experience in this industry for me. Even in like my personal life, just outside of the industry, I do appreciate everything that I go through, whether it stressed me out or not. So like so maybe rejection could be one thing that is a little frustrating, but it can't be too frustrating because if it wasn't meant for me, then it wasn't mine. So it's maybe to not harp on things for the last question as well. Like I don't harp on things too much if it didn't happen. On the what ifs, I kind of try and be very grounded in reality and what's actually going on, and then I try and just be better than I was the last second ago.
I think for me, it's kind of that same thing. It's just, just understanding that what is meant for you is meant for you. And if it wasn't meant for you, then it wasn't meant for you. And learning from it, really, because, like, to be completely, I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, I'm so new to the industry, and, like, I've been kind of thrown out into the deep end, and it's like swim. Do you know what I mean? So I'm learning as I'm navigating these waters. So it's just a learn. You have to learn before you really, But yeah, that's the honest answer.
I love that. Yeah, because that's the one thing. Like we can't take no's personally, right? And we learn from them. And we're big on faith, right? So, what is it? What's the word? Redirection, or when you get rejection is God's protection. There we go.
Yeah.
Rejection is God's protection. I found it. And so, right? Clap it up. So I love that. Not taking the no's personally and just keeping it moving, right? So thanks for shining light on that. And when it comes to anybody in the audience, does anybody in the audience want to be in the entertainment industry, whether on camera, behind the scenes? Make some noise. Yeah. Okay, so do you guys mind sharing just maybe like some easy steps, some basics for someone who wants to be maybe in front of the camera, or if you have insight on behind the camera as well, just generic advice?
Yeah. For one, I would say when you find an agent or manager, you better make sure they're not asking you for money off rip. That's just number one. Number two, I would say get closer to your emotions and really like juice it, because when you do have self-tapes or you do have to use your emotions, you want to be, well versed in them. So there's like no part of you that's running away from any sort of feelings that you might have to like put on display later. So those would be the two things I would say.
I think just, getting in classes, acting classes, local theaters, getting involved in that way, get your headshots done, submit to agencies, near you that don't charge you, and then just, growing in that way. Like, just take your time and really figure out, what kind of actor I want to be. Do I want to go down this route, or do I want to do these things? Do I also want to write and be behind the camera? So just really pinpointing what I want, like what's the objective, and then who am I? And knowing those two things can help you propel in your career.
Love that. I see people taking notes, so I love that. Okay, so, wrapping up, looking ahead, what kind of stories or roles are you most passionate about pursuing in the future?
I love a good drama.
Okay.
But I love a good comedy. So I think I really want to tap into like the hee hee ha ha hoo hoo vibe. And I do want to explore horror a bit more. I don't know if you guys know, but I do have a horror movie coming out soon. Ooh. And like that was really fun.
Yes.
So I was like, thank you. So that was really fun to experience. So I would definitely do more scary or comedy. Yeah, anything that's gonna get people like crying or crying with laughter.
Love that. Okay.
That's really good, actually. I want to say something like gritty, you know, like I don't
see that.
know. I was doing this. I was getting close to this wrestling role that was interesting. That I really wanted to do, like a UFC fighter. Completely different than Justin, I must say. But something like that, just something. I'm at a point where I'm just like, I want to just step into, you know, a different personality, really, and just see what happens. Whether that be in the horror space or the comedy space, but just something different than, you know, who I just played.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm excited. I see that for both of y'all. I'm excited. Can you share more about the horror film?
Yeah, so it's called Oddities, and it's about me and my self-destructive bestie, and we end up going on this wild chase of a night. It starts off as like drugs, sex, money, and then it turns into something completely dark and just like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I think that's all I can say.
Yes. Okay. Can you share when it comes out? Or?
I don't know the date yet.
Yeah.
I'll let
Okay,
you guys
look
know.
out. Yes, we will definitely keep looking out because I know y'all are just gonna keep doing amazing things. The way y'all broke out with these roles and just the title, everybody still talks about it. Everybody, and I think it just wouldn't be what it is without you guys and your personal backgrounds, your values, your morals. Even getting to know you, I'm like, it all makes sense why it connected because that was God's job, God's doing. Amen to that. So yeah, thank you so much. Where can we find you all and everything? I know you put the phone away sometimes.
What's my Instagram? Michael Cooper Jr. on Instagram,
Okay.
and then Michael Anthony Cooper Jr. on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I'm Lovie Simone 4 on TikTok, and then I'm Lovie Simone _ on Instagram. Yeah.
Not knowing, bro.
Michael,
We'll do
are
better.
you doing the TikToks? Are you doing the TikTok dances?
No, we didn't. We
We made
made
one.
one yesterday.
Okay.
But we haven't done the dances yet.
So we're gonna have to do a dance today after this.
Yeah.
Y'all stay tuned for that.
He's just better at choreo than me.
I do like dancing.
Okay,
I do
Yeah.
like
good.
dancing.
Okay, we're gonna do something. Well, Charlotte thanks you as a native Charlottean. We thank you for being here today to celebrate NAACP.
Thank you guys.
Thanks
Come
for
back
having us.
anytime. Give it up, y'all.